All right, man. Here I go, man. I'm back again on a few minutes with the minister, man. And listen, man, I like to give all honor and glory to the Most High God and His Son, man. For what He have done for us, man, by giving His life, man. Okay. But today, man, I want to come at you, man. I'm coming at you about the state of our youth, man. Okay. They have no regard for their parents, the elderly, or nobody, man. It's like they only care about themselves, man. And a lot of that is come from the upbringing, okay? The way they being raised, the household and their environment. You understand? But when you try to teach them something though, they don't want to listen. Okay? You can teach them how to build a house. You can teach them this and that. You know, they still have no regard for other people. No respect. Just go out somewhere one day and see they'll just walk right into you, man. Won't say excuse me or nothing. That's just how they are though. But let's get into some verses, man. I want to get Romans chapter 1, okay? Verse uh I'm gonna start at 29, right? Because our kids, our youth, they on YouTube all the time, just social media, period. And they being exposed to a lot on social media. It's all kind of stuff going on social media, and we all know this. Okay, but I'm gonna read this Romans chapter 1, verse 29. It say, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, okay, maliciousness, full of envy, all right, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, and what else? Whisperers, backbiters, haters of God. They act like they hate God, man. Despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Okay, that's one thing they did because they don't regard their parents these days, and so they just straight up disobedient, right? Okay, and it says they're without understanding, covenant breakers, and without natural affection. That's the one I wanted to get to. Okay, implacable, unmerciful. Okay, without natural affection, man. They don't regard their parents. They have no feelings or no remorse or none of that, man. A natural thing to do is to love your parents. They don't even love their parents. Some of them will call they mama a B, they daddy a F nigga, and that's how they talk now. But it come from the upbringing sometimes. Sometimes it don't have anything to do with the upbringing. They just rebellious. Okay? But most of the time it comes from the upbringing. All right? Parents not correcting their child as a kid when they growing up, they not correcting. They thinking it's cute. Okay? They thinking everything they do is cute. you know. But like I said, a boy has no business wearing his mama high heel shoes or just acting like no female, period, or doing nothing, or allowing them to disrespect some elderly person, man. It's the same with a little girl. Twerking and going on. It's the upbringing sometimes. Sometimes. So I want y'all to hear this. Sometimes it's the upbringing. All right? So let me move on, man. I'm gonna go to Proverbs. Okay? Proverbs verse chapter 13, verse 24. So you can't keep allowing your child to do what they want to do as little bitty children, because that grow up in them. That's just like sowing a seed, and that seed grow. If you allow your kids to do certain things and don't check it, then it's gonna grow up in them. Then they're gonna feel like it's cool for them to do because you allowed them to do it as little kids. Okay, so let me get Proverbs 13, and I'm gonna read verse 24. It said, "He that spared his rod hate his son." Right? If you don't deal with them kids, you might as well hate them. Do you literally hate your son? No, you love your kids. But you got to deal with some of the things that they do. But if you don't, you might as well hate them. It said, "But he that loveth him," listen, this is what the Bible saying. It said, "He that loveth him, chastening him betimes." So that chastening means you got to use a little force sometime, man. Sometimes you got to use force. Talking just don't get it sometimes because you can talk till your head turn blue. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you had to use a little force, man. It said him you chastening him betimes. Betimes means early. Okay, so you instill righteousness in them early, but you also had to put that rod on them too. Do not spare the rod. Ain't no spare the rod and spoil the child in this book. I don't know where they got that from. But it said if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. Not spare the rod and spoil the child. They don't say that. Okay? So you might as well hate your son if you allow him to do all kind of stuff and be disrespectful. You might as well hate him. Okay? Let's move on. Because like I said, this is a few minutes with the minister, man. So I'm gonna go to Proverbs 23, man. Proverbs 23. Proverbs 23 and verse 13. Okay. It says, "Withhold not correction from thy child." So what is that saying? Don't be letting them do what they want to do. Check that. Okay. "For if thou beatest him," I know y'all don't like that, that's harsh, but it said, "For if thou beat him with the rod, he shall not die." You know, all you doing is showing him you care. Now, I ain't talking about punching your kid all in the nose and giving them black eyes. That's not what I'm talking about. You know, it's a way to chastise your child without doing all that. Okay? Right? It said, "Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell," man. The only thing you trying to do is get your kid to do the right thing. Right? That's it. You ain't got to raise him to be a thug. You ain't got to raise him to be tough because the scripture says, uh, uh, "The heart of a child is bound with foolishness, but the rod of correction will draw it far from him." And sometimes you have to correct them with that belt, man. Okay? And that's what God said. All right, so I ain't worrying about man. All right? Okay, so this is the last scripture, man, I'm going to bring up. I'm going to read 22, Proverbs 22 and verse 6, man, because this is what we should do. We ain't have to raise, you ain't got to raise your kid up to be a thug. If his heart is bound with foolishness, you ain't got to raise him up to be bad. You raise him up to be good. Okay? All right? So here we go. Proverbs 22 and 6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go." Not doggone raising him up to go to penitentiary. Okay? It said, "Raise him up in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it." All right? And with that, man, I'm out.